What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Araceli and this is aracelichanyt DIY, and in my channel you're gonna find tons of DIY inspiration, and it's always going to be on a budget. So I would love to invite you to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video. I found this huge embroidery hoop at at Goodwill for only $2. So I thought it was going to be the perfect accessory for my ceiling light. Now I started off by taking off the adjustment piece, the one that you can tighten the hoop with, and then the piece that came off, I did glue it with some very heavy duty super glue. And then I also did use these natural bamboo craft sticks. I think this is a really good deal. There's like 100 craft sticks in the pack, and I think it was like $16, the one that I showed you, but it was cheaper before because this is like years old, right? So I did use those craft sticks to just go around the bottom of the hoop ring, and I did try to measure out to see like how far apart I was gonna glue the craft sticks, but you know, you can wing it if you want, but I just decided to make it nice and even. I do feel like it made it a lot easier using clamps as I was gluing the top ring onto the sticks. To hang it up, I used one of these planter chains from Dollar Tree, and I made sure to measure out where I'm going to attach it. That way it's nice and even when I hang it up. For the color, I did use like the deep brown acrylic paint from Dollar Tree. I used like a pewter gray and then also a black paint and mix it with a little bit of water to create a stain. And I always like using baby wipes just because it makes it so much easier to give it more of a stained effect rather than a painted effect. To add a little extra pizzazz, I took some silver thumbtacks and I clipped the end of it because I didn't want it to go all the way through the hoop, but I did add some hot glue and I stuck that puppy right on there, and then I just went all the way around the hoop. I saw this piece, I think it was on the Magnolia website, so I decided to use some Dollar Tree wooden blocks to create this look. For the outer frame, I did glue 2 blocks together, and then I created a long strip of 22 blocks. So 22 blocks for the left side and the right side, and then 20 blocks on the top and the bottom. And you guys can see how I arranged them right there. Just glued those together. And I also did a frame for the inside. And for the top and bottom, I used 10 blocks, and for the left and right, I used 9 blocks. For the back of this, I did use some reed, and this, I feel like this was a lot cheaper when I first bought it, but that roll lasted forever. So I just went on like a diagonal line with some strips, and then I crisscrossed it. So after you staple them on the back, then this is what it's going to look like once you turn it over. I kind of wish I would have gone a little darker on this one, but I did just use that deep brown acrylic paint from Dollar Tree, mixed it with some water, and again, stained it. And so that's basically it on this one. This one is super easy. I just used some Dollar Tree wooden blocks and I created a rectangle frame. And I feel like I have not seen these blocks in a really long time. And the ones that I have seen are like the ones that have like that dark brown mixed in the package. And those are like $1.75 now. So anyway, I did create a back for it using some gutter guard. I didn't actually know what it was. Somebody in the original video told me what it was. I got it at Habitat for Humanity. And so that one lasted a really long time also. And then I just added a cute little stem with some twine, and that's what this one looks like. I really love reusing materials, and here I'm using a piece of wood that was left over from an old ottoman that I redid into our coffee table. I sanded it down really well because it had a lot of like staples and just like broken little strips of wood and slivers everywhere. I did use Oops paint from Home Depot. I love using Oops paint, although I haven't gotten any in a really long time. And instead of actually building a frame around it, I decided to paint one. Also, if it sounds like it's so windy in here, it's because I have the fan blowing right in my face, you guys. It is still like 100 degrees where I'm at, and it's ridiculous. So I'm in my garage, and it's miserable, but here I am. I drew an outline of a vase and then nailed some brad nails right into there, and then used some nylon rope from Dollar Tree to create the actual like vase onto the artwork. And then I also used some Dollar Tree stems to decorate it. For this one, I used 4 Dollar Tree trays and some paint sticks that I purchased through Amazon. As you guys can see, it's a 200 pack box of them. They lasted me a really, really long time. And also, I really miss when Dollar Tree was actually $1. So as you can see there, I just glued the paint sticks onto the sides of the trays, and then I did staple them down as well. And then I used a wooden plaque. I attached it with a couple other pieces of the paint sticks, and then I just added some stickers and some florals, and that's pretty much it on this one. These wooden lanterns are probably one of my favorite DIYs that I've ever made, and then I just use a combination of Dollar Tree items, mostly Dollar Tree items with the exception of the bamboo sticks from Amazon, and then a couple pieces of hardware. This chain is the same one that I used on the very first project, so I had a little left over. So I took one of the long strands, took it apart in the middle to make 2, and I clipped it together. So that way I had enough for the 2 lanterns. For the top and the bottom pieces of the lantern, I did use a total of 10 blocks. As you can see, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, and then 2 on the sides. After that, I just started gluing the bamboo sticks, which I cut to size, so I put them all around the side to create kind of like a cube, and then I crisscrossed some on the sides and attached one to the top as well. I actually really miss creating crafts like this just because they were so much fun, but I feel like I was making these when the farmhouse look was really, really trending, and then people started hating on it, so I stopped creating like more farmhouse style DIYs, but I feel like this could be versatile. What do you guys think? I might, you know what? I think I might remake these. And now that I look at it, you could totally glue the bamboo sticks on the inside of the lantern to make it look more clean. As you can see, I love the combination of the brown and the black to create a stain, and always add a little bit of water to dilute it. But yeah, I think these look totally cool after they were painted, and then of course I attached the hooks to the top because that's what I'm going to hang them from. But to create the light bulb, you'll want to take the top piece of the clear ornament off, and as you can see right here on the sides, I'm just kind of lifting up these little flaps, and that's going to let that sit flush on top of the piece, on top of the lantern, just right there. You're not going to take those hooks off because after you put the lights through the ornament, you're going to hook it back in there just as it goes. So lay it flat, and then you put the ornament right back onto the little hooks. I guess is that what they're called? I don't know. The battery pack is going to be glued to the back of that wooden plaque blocks right here. That's going to serve as like the hanging piece on the back, and that allowed it to kind of sit flush on the wall, so it's not like tipping, and it still gives that battery pack some space, if that makes sense. I mean, I had 200 of these paint sticks, so I made so many different projects with them. And these are the ones that I purchased through Amazon. So I mixed some brown and like a beige paint. I don't remember what color that was, but I mixed it with a little bit of water and then just stained it. I did use a total of 10 paint sticks on each. Now, what I did was glue 4 pieces together, but to make sure that it wasn't going to fall apart on me, I decided to add some popsicle sticks on the inside. That way it kept them together. And then I glued 2 pieces on the sides, and I had done a lot of projects, so I was cutting a lot of pieces here. So I did cut another one to go on the bottom, and then I glued 4 more together to attach to the other side. I forgot what I used to hang these up. I think I used like some sawtooth hangers on the back that I just glued on there, but I honestly don't remember. And then you can add whatever you want in here. I just decided to use some of this like tall onion grass. I got this checkerboard set at Dollar Tree, but I just used the checkers, and then I also used some Dollar Tree wooden blocks. And then I started using hot glue gun meant for woodworking, and this box, it's like a 5-pound box that I purchased through Amazon, has lasted me years, like no joke. So for the price, I think it's totally worth it, and you guys can find all these links in my Amazon storefront down in the description. So then I just started gluing the wooden blocks together. As you can see, I kind of did like a different design. I did one going vertical, one horizontal, and then I put all of those together to create my checkerboard, and I used some brown paint to stain the pieces. So you know how checkerboards have the 2 different colors? That's how I accomplished mine. So after gluing them all together, I actually didn't show this part, but I did cut out a piece of cardboard and I glued it to the bottom. That way it wouldn't get flimsy on me, or if it wouldn't fall apart once I set it on the little legs. These coasters were super easy to make. I just used these wooden rounds from Amazon. They're linked in my description. And then I did use some paint. As you can see, I'm actually using house paint on these crafts. I love using house paint for painting projects. And I just painted half of the wooden slice. And then I also used these rub-on transfers from Dollar Tree. I thought these were really cute. And I just attached it to the center, or I rubbed it on the center. And that's pretty much it on these. For this project, I am using actual yardsticks, and these you can purchase at Walmart or any of the hardware stores. I did cut off the very top piece of it, and as you can see, I'm using a very flimsy saw from Dollar Tree. And then I went ahead and glued those 4 pieces together to create a frame. With the Dollar Tree blocks, I just created the little legs for it to stand on. So I used 2 for the top and then 1 on each side. I made 4 of those, and then I just glued them to the bottom of the frame. And this video was around the time when Dollar Tree was still $1. So the wooden slices, or the wooden rounds that I used for this, were $1 back then. Now you're gonna end up paying $1.75 each. I actually am still flabbergasted over that. I can't believe it. So I glued those on the inside of the frame. And then the only other thing that I'm gonna do to this is add a thing of string lights. And the battery pack is gonna be glued on the bottom of one of these wooden rounds. While you guys are here, I'd love to invite you to follow me on my socials at aracelichanyt DIY, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what to do. Make sure you leave me a thumbs up, leave me any comments or questions down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye!